Hi, hon. A couple other things. When you get this side to where it fits, draw a line like this across the joint, right? So that you always know which side goes where. So like as soon as I take them out and I get them mixed up, I'm like, what goes where? And then all I have to do is take a look at the end and go, oh, that line is there, that line is there, it goes to that one. Then I'll look at this one. See, it doesn't have the line there, so I know it's not this one. So that way I can keep straight which piece goes to where, because I'm custom fitting it to the handle. Another thing I'll do is I will take my chisel and cut little marks this way to kind of break that up. And so when I cut across this way to take a little bit out, it takes a little bit out without taking too much out. So that way I don't take big holes out. Once I take the first bit out, yes, I take big pieces out, but then when I get close to the line, I start taking small pieces out. Another thing that I do, let's say this side is high and I need to take some down, I can actually, instead of going sideways here, I can take my stick and I can cut, I make a line first, right? So I'll make a couple good taps here, not very deep, just enough to cut the end of the fibers, right? And then I'll come back out here and start cutting in. But then I use the bevel side of my, not the flat side, right? And so then I can come in and I hold it flat or high to cut more aggressively or less aggressively. Sometimes, like right now, this thing is kind of in my way, so I'm going to get it out of my way so I can get my chisel down here. But anyway, so now, make sure that's tight. So now I'll put the bevel side down and I'll cut into the line I just made. I don't know if you can see that, but see, I'm just taking off a little bit and only on this one side right here. I don't know if that's visible or not. Maybe. Let's see. Let's adjust this a little. So I'll put my chisel down like this. See, I made my line this way first, and then I'll come in this way, and see, I'm just taking, but not even a half a millimeter is all I'm taking off at a time. See, and that comes off there, and then I can take this and come in like this, flat, kind of flatten it up a little bit. Can get on the corner there, clean that up, get in the corner that way, clean that up. But see, it's flat. So I'm just barely, I lift it just enough to kind of get a little bit of a bite. So I can come in here and clean up like that. And then obviously is the sandpaper. I've kind of worn that one out. So I will tear off this little piece. So now I've got this piece and this piece. And so now I'll hold this down tight like this. I've got my finger pressed down on it. And just start going back and forth. Kind of smoothing it out. So, and it takes a lot more than that, but see, remember I told you I put this in, and I put the line right here, so I know this goes this way. Then I drew the line on the side right here, so I know how deep it goes into the other side. So now I can take this, right? It's going to be like that. So I can take this, put it in, look at my line, still a little bit high there. It's dead on there. So I just need to take a little bit off on this side right here, and then it'll be pretty flat. I've got a little hole right here. I don't know if you can see it. So it's a deep gouge like you're talking about. I've got one of those right there too. I have one a little bit right there on that one too. Not much, but one right there. But that's okay, right? And because we're both learning. I don't usually do it this way. I use the power tool. So I'm kind of learning how to do it with the hand tools like this too. But anyway, you're doing great, and I really love working with you. And I hope this video helps you with some techniques for using your chisels. You also might like go on YouTube and Google, how to use chisels and see some other people with some techniques on how to use them. And you'll pick up some good pointers that way. Just a few minutes of watching, 2 or 3 videos. But just Google, or not Google, go on YouTube and search for how to use wood chisels. And there'll be some videos there that might help as well. All right? Love you, hon. Talk to you later. Oh, one other technique. I kind of showed you this earlier, but I will actually show it to you here. So if I'm going to bring this down, I can use my chisel like a knife, right? And so I can come in here like this, and I can even just do it like that. And see, I'm just taking off little bits and pieces there. A lot faster than sanding if it's got enough there, right? But I can come in here, and what I do is I use the side of this opening right here, and literally, see, and I'm just slicing off little bits, and I can come back in, making sure to keep my fingers out of the way, and go across and clean it up, and go back in with my sandpaper. Okay? All right, hon, for this time for sure, I'm signing off. Love you. Have a good night.